Some roles become immortalized not just because of the actors who played them, but because those actors never lived to see their final performances released. Today, we're spotlighting some of the most tragic instances in Hollywood where stars passed away before witnessing the impact of their final works. Tony Todd, famed for his chilling portrayal of Candyman, had a career that spanned over 250 roles. He also played the mysterious William Bloodworth in the Final Destination franchise. Todd returned to the series for Final Destination, Bloodlines, which premiered in 2025. Tragically, he succumbed to a long illness in 2024, never seeing the release. That same year, Werewolf Game showcased his villainous skills, and 2005's long-delayed Cutters Club finally premiered. Cory Monteith, beloved as Finn Hudson from Glee, rose to fame through the show and his off-screen romance with co-star Lea Michele. Yet behind the scenes, he struggled with substance abuse for years. In 2013, he was found dead in a hotel room due to an overdose. Following his death, Glee paid tribute with a special episode, and his final two films, All the Wrong Reasons and Mechanic, were shown at the Toronto International Film Festival. Anton Yelchin became a rising Hollywood talent through films like Crazy and Terminator Salvation. His portrayal of Pavel Chekhov in the rebooted Star Trek series made him a household name. But just before Star Trek Beyond was set for release in 2016, Yelchin died in a freak accident involving his Jeep. Afterward, his family reached a settlement with Fiat Chrysler. Several posthumous releases followed, with We Don't Belong Here arriving in 2017 as his final film. Phil Hartman was a comedy force, from co-creating Pee Wee Herman to playing memorable roles on Saturday Night Live and voicing multiple Simpsons characters. In 1998, Hartman was murdered in his sleep by his wife, who later took her own life. Hartman's final live-action appearance was in Small Soldiers, and his voice could be heard in Kiki's Delivery Service and Buster and Chauncey's Silent Night. Jean Harlow, one of the original Hollywood starlets, gained prominence in the early 1930s and became a beloved screen icon. While filming Saratoga in 1937 with Clark Gable, she became seriously ill and died of kidney failure. MGM considered recasting her, but fan backlash led to a body double being used to complete the film. Saratoga was released weeks later and was one of the year's top box office hits. Heather O'Rourke, who made her mark as Carol Ann in Poltergeist, returned for the third installment in 1988. However, she passed away due to complications from a misdiagnosed congenital intestinal issue before the film premiered. Her family later sued the hospital for wrongful death, reaching a private settlement. Carrie Fisher had a multifaceted career, known both for her role as Princess Leia and for helping shape scripts behind the scenes. After reprising Leia in The Force Awakens, Fisher died of a heart attack in 2016 before The Last Jedi was released. Her final appearance as Leia came in 2019's The Rise of Skywalker, using archived footage. Her last completed role was in 2023's Wonderwell. Chadwick Boseman delivered powerful performances in 42, Get On Up, and most notably as Black Panther. Unknown to many, he had been battling colon cancer since 2016. He died in 2020, and later that year, his final live-action role in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom premiered to critical acclaim. He earned several posthumous nominations and awards. His last role was voicing T'Challa in Marvel's What If. Richard Harris, known for his commanding screen presence and music talent, played Dumbledore in the first two Harry Potter films. In 2002, just before Chamber of Secrets was released, Harris died of Hodgkin's lymphoma. His final role came in the English dub of the French animated film Cana: The Prophecy, released in 2004. Aaliyah was a celebrated R&B icon in the 1990s and early 2000s, known for her chart-topping hits and multi-platinum albums. Her musical achievements eventually opened doors in Hollywood, where she took on a lead role in Queen of the Damned. At the time of her untimely death, Aaliyah was working on The Matrix Reloaded, portraying a character named Z. Tragically, she passed away in a plane crash in August 2001. Following her death, her role was reassigned, and actress Nona Gay stepped in to complete the part. Chris Farley, remembered for his over-the-top comedic style, was also cast to voice Shrek before his passing. By the late 90s, Farley's health was visibly deteriorating due to substance use. His struggles ultimately claimed his life in 1997 at just 33 years old. After his death, Mike Myers was brought on to voice Shrek, re-recording most of the character's lines. Bloodlines. Vic Morrow's death stands out as one of the most horrific tragedies in film history. While filming a segment for Twilight Zone the movie, Morrow and 2 young children were killed in an on-set accident involving a malfunctioning helicopter. The disaster sparked numerous legal battles, and the families of those involved later received settlements. Philip Seymour Hoffman, a widely respected actor, was nearing the end of filming for The Hunger Games: Mockingjay Part 2 when he passed away in early 2014. Having struggled with addiction earlier in life, Hoffman had relapsed in 2013. His sudden death resulted in script changes to finish the film, which was released posthumously with adjustments made to accommodate his absence. British magician and entertainer Tommy Cooper was a familiar face on television for many years. However, by the early 80s, his health was failing due to heavy drinking and smoking. While performing on live television in 1984, Cooper collapsed from a heart attack in front of a stunned audience. Despite immediate backstage efforts to revive him, he was pronounced dead shortly after. Marilyn Monroe's final film, Something's Got to Give, was marred by personal difficulties. Monroe was going through a painful divorce, struggling with health issues, and facing ongoing criticism. She was fired from the project due to repeated absences, but was later reinstated. Unfortunately, she passed away before filming could resume, leading the production to be abandoned altogether. River Phoenix, a promising young actor, was in the midst of filming Dark Blood in 1993. After returning to Los Angeles, he suffered a fatal overdose just outside a nightclub. Although the film was shelved for years, it was eventually completed and released in 2012 with major edits to compensate for his absence. Bruce Lee was a legendary martial artist and actor who died just before finishing his film Game of Death. He had been diagnosed with a cerebral edema and suffered an allergic reaction to medication. After his death in 1973, the film was completed using stand-ins, with the finished product released 5 years later. Paul Walker's unexpected death during the production of Furious 7 sent shockwaves through the film industry. He died in a car crash along with his friend who was driving. The production resumed with the help of Walker's brothers and CGI technology to complete his remaining scenes. The film ended with a heartfelt tribute to Walker, retiring his character with grace and respect. Owen Hart, a professional wrestler, died during a live WWE event in 1999. While being lowered from the rafters for a dramatic entrance, a harness malfunction caused him to fall to his death. Though the broadcast did not air the fall, thousands of fans witnessed the tragic moment. The event continued despite the accident, a decision that remains controversial. Brandon Lee, son of Bruce Lee, also met a tragic end while filming The Crow. A faulty prop gun discharged a projectile, fatally wounding him during a scene. Lee died in the hospital after surgery. The movie was completed using stunt doubles and digital effects, adding to the legacy of eerie parallels between his and his father's deaths. Steve Irwin, known as the Crocodile Hunter, captured global attention with his adventurous wildlife documentaries. While filming Ocean's Deadliest, he was fatally wounded by a stingray. Irwin's sudden death was met with an outpouring of grief worldwide, and the documentary was finished without him, eventually airing in 2007. Heath Ledger was in the middle of filming The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus when he died from an accidental prescription drug overdose in 2008. His role was completed by 3 other actors, Johnny Depp, Jude Law, and Colin Farrell, each portraying alternate versions of his character in the film's dreamlike world. Ledger's death added a layer of poignancy to the fantastical storyline.